Hi, and welcome to Tanesha's's Tips.
Say it's Tanesha's's Tips. Coming all three speakers. Good honest reviews, book shows, and the movies all getting featured. They all getting featured. Say it's Tanesha's's Tips. Coming all three speakers. Good honest reviews, book shows, and the movies all getting featured. Yeah. It's your girl Tanesha, straight magic. The greatest book reviews, let's get at it. She not here to offend, she just honest. Bringing words that may leave you astonished. And plus she do shows. She cover all like hands, knees, and toes. Don't lollygag, no, she just rolls. Then it's on to the next one, on to a fresh one. Ha. Said it's on to the next one, on to a fresh one. Tanesha's's Tips. Coming all three speakers. Good honest reviews, book shows, and the movies all getting featured. Said it's Tanesha's's Tips. Coming all three speakers. Good honest reviews, book shows, and the movies all getting featured. Yeah. Hey. It ain't for the clout, it's honest. See the truth when you look beyond it. Book shows, not to mention movies. She give or take in a great way, you'll see. Check it out, see if you agree. If you vibe, yes, it's meant to be. And baby, you don't even need the script. Learn it all with Tanesha's's Tips. Tanesha's's Tips. Coming all three speakers. Yeah. Good honest reviews, book shows, and the movies all getting featured.
We're going to do a question and answer about the book Everybody Ain't Your Friend by Tanesha Stewart. I have about 15 questions that I came up with. I'm going to answer them, and hopefully you can comment and tell me if you felt the same, if you read the book, and if you thought a different way. I would like to hear exactly what you thought of the book and your take on the questions. Now, granted, they didn't have any book club questions at the back of the book like some books do now, and I couldn't find any on the internet, so I came up with my own. We're going to answer those and see what happens or what we came up with. Okay. So the first question is, what are your initial thoughts of Mia and how she reacted to Jeff? So my initial take on Mia in her interaction or even her reaction to Jeff was, really, was it necessary? I mean, just wave and keep going, or either move, if you thought that the person was staring. I just feel like, yeah, it is rude for somebody to stare at someone while eating, but then to do all the things that she was doing as far as like eating sloppily and things like that in public was unnecessary. When she realized that Jeff was blind, that was funny because I was like, see, she did all of that for no reason. And whomever else was looking, because he probably, her perspective was that he was looking at her, but there could have been somebody else looking at her and it was probably grossed out. Like, really? I don't know. I just think it was unnecessary. Question number 2. How did you perceive Mia and Trey's relationship? At first, I perceived Trey and Mia's relationship as kind of cute. They were best friends and they pranked each other, whatever. I thought that was really funny. Um, Later on, it just turned out to be like, I felt like it was a normal relationship, but he knew that she was going to spaz out when she found out what was going on. I think he just should have been honest with her. I think he was a little bit more afraid of her than anything, or her reactions. Because as we can see from the beginning, her reactions to things are very spontaneous and just what they are in the moment. She don't think things through. Question 3. Did either Becky or Lauren strike you as being weird or disingenuous? As far as Becky and Lauren, at first, it seemed as if they were like all cool and everything because they would meet up to talk about things and have girls' night and do the whole wine and wine tasting and talking or whatever. So that kind of seemed very normal to me. I didn't see any red flags and it was just a normal thing that girls get together, they go out and, whatever. So, yeah, it kind of seemed normal to me. Question number 4. When Mia started getting the phone calls, what did you think? Yeah, I started to look side eyed at Mia when she first started getting those phone calls because I'm like, you're not thinking anything of these phone calls. You're kind of brushing them off, but it's so weird that they happen when you're alone or by yourself. And it's just so eerie of how, and when they take place. And for her not to like confide in someone, that struck me as odd. Like she didn't ever say anything to anybody that she was getting these phone calls. And if I'm in a relationship with a guy, I would feel like, yeah, I need to let him know, hey, I keep getting these phone calls or whatever. Mind you, yeah, you should probably be a little cautious because it could be behind the guy, you know what I mean? But at a certain point and how frequently they came, it was like, you really need to pay attention and you probably need to tell somebody, even if it's your mom, because y'all was in the same city. So why not tell somebody else? You know what I mean? And I felt like she should have even told somebody outside of her circle. Just me, I don't know. Question number 5. There were a lot of moving parts in this book, but what did you think of Trey initially? So Trey, I felt like he had a lot going for himself. He was in dental school and he was trying to actually get an internship with, a dental doctor, like I guess a dentist office. And in the meantime, he was actually providing or helping out with the utilities and bills and everything, kind of being responsible by working at Walmart. That wasn't his ideal situation. However, he was really trying to make it happen. He wasn't just, oh, I'm just focused on this one thing at a time. He was actually working and pursuing, his dental hygienist career. Question number 6. What were your initial thoughts when Mia woke up in the middle of the night and Trey was on the phone? So when Mia woke up in the middle of the night to find Trey on the phone, I feel like if that's not his normal behavior or being up late at night and then also being on the phone, yeah, she was kind of calm on that front, but she took his word for things. And initially I was like, ooh, something ain't right because he did kind of seemed kind of squeamish or shaky or whatever, and his lie just wasn't coming out right or whatever. But I feel like he kind of cleaned it up the next day with his actions. But even still, I would have been like, something ain't right. Like something is just not right, which she kind of did, but still. Mm. Question number 7. When Mia met Nolan, did that seem weird or off to you? So when Mia first met Nolan, it was I felt like it could have been, genuine. It could have been a coinky dink or whatever, she was stopping at the store to get her ice cream. And then this guy walks up to her and he tries to start talking. It was kind of a little bit like, but people these days do that. You know what I mean? Like you go into the store and you're just trying to get in and get out and somebody ends up stopping you. So I can't say that it wasn't coincidental or it looked or seemed fishy. Not at first. Question number 8. When did you start seeing the red flags with Nolan? Nolan's red flags started coming out when he was just being too pushy. He was too in a hurry to be her new boyfriend. And he started like putting trackers on her car and devices in the house and just he also tried to change her aesthetic in her house. First of all, you don't live here and you trying to move in and then you trying to change what I have going on. I didn't ask you to decorate. So yeah, that was a big red flag for me. And I would have just been like, you got to get out. You got to get out now. He just came off like a homosexual and I was just like, not today. Question number 9. At any point, did you feel sorry for Mia, Trey, or Nolan? Which one? I think I felt most sorry for Trey just because he seemed to get the short end of the stick. I kind of felt sorry for him, but then he kind of made me mad as well because my thing is, if you know nothing happened, you should have told her from jump when she caught you on the phone. You should have laid all out on her on the table. And furthermore, why didn't you tell her the night that it happened or the next day when you came back so that she already know what she working with? But I felt like, you know, Mia was so stubborn and she was going to be stuck on what she was thinking that she was willing to give up the relationship with Trey because she just felt like she was so betrayed and this and that and third. But yet you won't listen. Like, I do not like that. Like, I feel like people should deserve to be heard, even if you're mad. I feel like after you take some time to calm down and you're at a place where, okay, cool, let me hear you. She should have taken that into consideration. She really, really should have taken that into consideration. And she probably should have talked to some other people, like his friends, and actually, heard or try to investigate and follow up with what his story was. I don't know, but I felt sorry for him. Question number 10. With all the drama in Mia's personal life, do you feel that the workplace drama fit the scenario or was it petty drama? How would you have reacted? The drama in the workplace is always stupid because at the end of the day, you're gonna always have people like watching you or whatever and wondering how you do certain things. And there's always somebody somewhere, not per se just a workplace, but somebody somewhere being envious of you. I think it was petty. Um, when everything happened to her, I personally wouldn't have reacted until the chick like smirks because then now I know there's something, you got something against me because there would be no other reason. Like she really didn't interact with her. She kind of kept everything to a minimum, which technically you do at work because half the time you just work with these people. They're not your friend or whatever. And you keep, personal things personal and professional professional, and obviously she was seeking something, some kind of attention. So yeah, I probably would have reacted negatively too, but I would have held it until after work, you know. Huh? Question number 11. After it was revealed that Lauren was a snake, did you believe Trey or Lauren, either their stories of what actually happened? So after it came out of what all happened, I would have believed Trey hands down. I mean, they had more time to develop a relationship. I mean, yes, she was friends with Lauren first, but I feel like if you go back in your memory bank with people, you can see telltale signs of how they are. You know what I mean? And when that came out, to me, and how they did the flashback, you could tell that, yeah, she really did try to set this up. I would have believed Trey when he came to me and, try to say his piece. I really would have. Question number 12. Was Mia too hard on Trey? I really can't say if Mia was too hard on Trey. I just feel like, you can always say what you would do if you're in a situation, but if you really don't or haven't experienced it or you're not in that situation, you don't know. You know what I mean? Me personally, just looking at them, yeah, I think that she was punishing herself too. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't really so much as her, being too hard on Trey. She suffered too. And I just think that it didn't even have to go as far as it did. So yeah, she was too hard. She was doing the most being stubborn. I don't know. I just didn't, I was just like, girl, what? I don't know. She was just making stuff more complicated than it had to be, personally. Question number 13. Becky seemed to be Mia's only friend until she wasn't. Did you see any of the cracks in her facade? So, Becky, yeah, I started to see how she really felt as well when it was just Mia and Becky now. And when Mia was in the whole love triangle with Nolan, Trey, and her, I felt like how she was siding so much with Nolan and not really knowing him, and she was so against Trey. I was just kind of like, well, whose friend are you? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't get that because at the end of the day, nothing happened between Mia and Trey prior to this whole incident. So now all of a sudden you going against Trey, and he's been a good guy, before all of this scandal came up. Like, I don't know, she just went so hard against him. Like, you shouldn't get back with him, and if you do, you stupid. Like, what? Nah, what's the judgment about? Like, now not only are you judging him, you judging me. If I choose to, make a decision on my own, then now I'm stupid. Nah, that's not a friend. I mean, yeah, you tell people the truth, but you don't have to be insulting. You just don't. Question number 14. Clearly, it was a whole scheme to take Mia down, but messing with the paternity of the twins was a lot. What do you think you would have done in that situation? Meaning, would you have obtained another test just to be sure? Would you report the hospital or the clinic? The whole paternity thing was so weird to me. Like, I've never heard of that before, but it is such a thing to have twins and they have different dads. But I think initially what I would have done was get a second paternity test just to make sure from a different hospital. That way I'll know for sure. And if they came out different, then I would have did yet another one. And then I could do the process of elimination. There's no way two hospitals can have the same results and then that one is different. Then my haggles will go up and I'm suing the hospital. Yeah, and I'm gonna get the lady that did the results. Who sent the results out? We gonna figure it out. This is the day I got these results, and they were wrong. And I went to XYZ hospitals, and their results are this. Oh, we gonna go through the ringer. They not gonna get off with this one. Mm-mm. And last but not least, question number 15. Were you satisfied with the outcome of the book? So overall, I was satisfied with the outcome of the book. I just felt like, she did button everything up. There was some crazy characters in this book. I mean, a lot of people that I mentioned in my character development, like I didn't mention them in this question and answer because they really kind of weren't as relevant. They just kind of added to the story. But at the same time, she buttoned everything up and it came full circle and all was well that ends well. So yeah, all good. Well, that wraps up the question and answer portion of this book, Everybody Ain't Your Friend by Tanisha Stewart. Again, I would like to hear what you thought if you have read the book. If you haven't, go read it, then come back and see if your answers to the questions that I came up with would be along the same lines. Would you have done something different? Story is really good. I'll come out with a review of the entire book shortly. Stay tuned.
And plus she do shows. She cover all like hands, knees, and toes. Don't lollygag, no, she just roll. Then the song to the next one, on to a fresh one. Ha. Set it on to the next one, on to a fresh one. Tanesha'sTips, coming on 3 speakers. Good honest reviews, book shows, and the movies all getting featured.